Hello, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Temps are starting to rise again across Louisiana after 2 nights of hard freezes. That's in addition to near-record snowfall earlier this winter.
While most farms are dormant this time of year, there are some at least trying to grow a crop. This week, TWILA's Neil Melancon shows us the strawberries we love so much in the spring have been frozen out this year.
Joey Liuzza is putting the last of the sandbags down on his field. It's not a flood he's expecting, but a freeze. It's the second time this year he's had to do it, and it may not be the last.
We're always prepared for, if there's a freeze in mid-March or late March. So the net will not come out of the field. We'll leave the net in the field. I am getting ready to plant some tomatoes and bell pepper.
Back in January, these fields were covered in snow, which Liuzza says actually helped preserve not just the berries, but the plants themselves.
The snowstorm, the end of January, that was a big curveball thrown to us, and fortunately, it was a dry snow, not a lot of ice and moisture with it, so we have the cover here, and this is what it was like then. We had everything covered.
A rainstorm before this cold snap will also help keep the fields alive. While it won't kill many plants, Liuzza says the cold weather will delay growth.
I don't anticipate losing any green berries or red berries that are ready. If we don't lose any blooms, then it'll set us back, a week or so. Normally in warm weather, it takes 21 to 25 days for a bloom that you see to turn into a strawberry.
It takes about 20 minutes per acre to cover these fields, so it's a day-long process for Liuzza's 16 acres on short notice. While it's not particularly expensive, it's impossible without labor.
We do need a workforce, a competitive workforce. H2A it gets us our labor, and that's about all we get. The cost associated with it is very expensive. There needs to be some immigration reform. And
Liuzza says, don't let the cold weather or rumors stop you. Tangipahoa Parish is the strawberry capital of the world, and it's open for business.
When you buy Louisiana, you buy local. You're supporting the local farm. The money stays in the area. Louisiana strawberries, they're the best tasting strawberry, hands down, in the country. We have perfect soil. It just raises a great tasting fruit.
Now, I don't know if you can tell with this wind, but it is absolutely freezing out here. Fortunately, though, the Liuzzas got their strawberry plants covered in time for this most recent cold spell, which means they will have strawberries for the April Strawberry Festival. Reporting from Independence, I'm Neil Melancon.
Now, strawberries are a $10 million industry in Louisiana. Their normal season peaks in March and April. For more information on Liuzza Farms, we'll link you over to them on our website at twilatv.org. Well, Louisiana farmers grow sugarcane on more than 500,000 acres across the state and contribute more than $4 million a year to the Louisiana's economy. That's according to the American Sugarcane League.
What is demand going to look like for the coming year with a new administration and a new head of Health and Human Services? That was one of the topics at this year's American Sugarcane League annual meeting. Louisiana is the top producer of sugarcane in the country. Farmers here are on pace to produce more than 2.1 million tons of sugar this year. American Sugar Alliance Director of Economics and Public Policy, Dr. Robert Johansson, says that's good news, but that does not mean all is good for sugarcane farmers.
The storyline is, generally speaking, high costs, softening prices, and that's bringing down farm income. We saw that happen pretty much across all agricultural economy. Not as much for sugar, which is a bright spot. Sugarcane and sugar beet production has been holding up a little bit more than corn, soybeans, wheat, and some of the other crops. And I think looking forward, that's likely to be the case for next year too.
Johansson says he expects domestic sugar prices to drop slightly in the coming year, possibly to 35 cents per pound. That's because world stocks remain high and demand remains steady. That's despite consumers facing high prices at the grocery store.
I think it's fair to say that consumers have been backing away from food purchases, including food that has a lot of sugar in it. And that has softened our deliveries for sugar. I think that's undeniable. Will that continue into the future? I don't think so. I think we've hit the bottom in terms of food inflation. I think it's going to be at a more level pace at this point in time, and consumers will be out there buying what they normally would buy.
While inflation may not be a factor, the appointment of Robert Kennedy Jr. to lead the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services could sway consumer trends.
The MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, is something that's in our radar.
American Sugarcane League General Manager Jim Seymour says he's hopeful demand for pure cane sugar will remain steady.
Sugar's a natural sweetener. It's the sweetener of choice. And so we do have some level of concern that there's discussion about reformulating products on the shelves, on grocery store shelves by manufacturers to lower caloric content. But quite often they do that at the cost of supplanting sugar with chemical food additives. And is that what we really want to do? And is that what RFK really wants? To create situations where they're attempting to reduce sugar by offsetting it with chemical sweeteners. So we think that if folks stay in their lane, we'll be okay. There may be some adjustments in consumption, but we don't think it's going to be anything terribly significant that would cause collapse in the domestic sugar market. And remember, we have to import sugar into the U.S. So if consumption falls just a little bit, maybe we just import a little bit less.
We looked at sugar consumption per capita, or sucrose consumption per capita over the past 10 years or so, and it's been pretty level. It hasn't really changed that much. Consumers are eating roughly the same amount per capita of sucrose that they have been over the last 10 years. And obesity, and whether it's childhood or adult obesity, has generally been trending upwards despite that. In the same token, consumers have been eating fewer calories through sweeteners per capita over time. As I mentioned, sucrose consumption is flat, but consumption of high fructose corn syrup by extension has been falling over time.
Another important topic at the annual meeting was a new farm bill. Jim Seymour was quick to point out the no-cost sugar program in the farm bill could use some updating when it comes to the loan rate, which hasn't been adjusted in 10 to 15 years. He also says farmers are talking about some improvements that could happen on the crop insurance side.
With the new presidential administration comes a new cabinet. Congress confirmed the new Secretary of Agriculture on a 72-28 vote. Brooke Rollins takes over for Tom Vilsack as the 33rd Secretary of Agriculture. A Texas native, Rollins served during President Donald Trump's first term as the Director of Domestic Policy Council. At Texas A&M, she received a degree in ag development and was the first woman to be elected student body president. She says as Ag Secretary, she will fight every day for American farmers, ranchers, and the agriculture community. A Louisiana Farm Bureau leader is also about to begin a new role on the national stage.
Rachel Duncan will serve a 2-year stint on the American Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. Rachel and her husband, Robert, farm soybeans, cut flowers, and raise cattle in Rapides Parish. The couple recently served as the chairs of the Louisiana Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. On a recent episode of the Louisiana Farm Bureau podcast, Rachel said that she's excited to travel the country and represent Louisiana in this new role.
All the traveling, all of the meeting new people, seeing all these different farming operations and getting to experience things that I would not be able to, back home, but also getting more chances to go to DC and talk to people in Congress and being at the AFBF office. I'm excited for all of it.
You can watch and listen to this full episode and new episodes on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. We'll link you to that on our website at twilatv.org. And joining us now is the host of the Louisiana Farm Bureau podcast, Carl Wiggers, who is not above bribery to get you to listen to him.
Everybody loves a good giveaway. And so on our YouTube account, we've started a new channel called the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation, and we'll have a link in the description. We'll have a QR code here on the screen that you can scan to go find it. But it needs subscribers. That's the biggest thing, and that's why we're doing a giveaway. This content is interesting. It's something you've probably seen on our TWILA page already, but we're finding a new home for it on the Louisiana Farm Bureau page. But again, it needs subscribers, it needs engagement, because that's where we're going to be sharing this stuff. So $100 Amazon gift card. Mm-hmm. I think you and I can both appreciate that. And so how do you get that $100? Well, we're going to draw a winner from the comments. Go to the episode you just saw the clip from, Miss Rachel, subscribe to our channel, comment on that video, and we're going to pick a winner from those comments on March 1st.
I know $100 on Amazon, it goes quick. but we appreciate it. Thank you very much, Carl Wiggers. Well, how do you gauge the success of a fundraising event? Is it the number of people who attend or how much money it raises?
Well, whichever stat you use, there's no arguing the annual party at the Red Barn in Abbeville was a huge success. The raising of the pig for the Cochon de Lait kicked off the annual event organized by the Vermilion Parish Farm Bureau Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee. More than 400 people attended the event, which raised $55,000 for the Louisiana Ag in the Classroom Foundation, the Louisiana Farm Bureau Foundation, Wayne and Linda Zonbrecker Scholarship, the Vermilion Parish Farm Bureau Dwayne Zonbrecker Scholarship, and AgriPack. Party at the Red Barn Committee Chair Matthew Segrera says a lot of work goes into the event, and he's happy so many people enjoy it.
Down here, a lot of people like to have a good time. They like to party, so it's really not that much. You tell them we got, pig and jambalaya and alligator and sauce piquant. They come in and cold beer and live music. So, and of course, having the auctions and stuff like that doesn't hurt either. We have all the kind of different aspects of it that all kind of contribute and helps raise the funds. So I think it's really great. It's good to see that even when sometimes the economy is not as good, people are still very generous and willing to give to causes like this, especially Vermilion Parish is a pretty rural parish, so I think a lot of people know how important agriculture is.
Louisiana Farm Bureau First Vice President Marty Woolridge spoke to those in attendance, as did Louisiana Farm Bureau Queen Emma Stelly. St. Martin Parish Band Nickel Beer provided the entertainment. Well, there are some events we just love here at TWILA, and this is one of them.
The Brody Meaux Memorial Rodeo, better known as the Brodeo, is now in its third year. As Craig Gautreaux shows us, it's a one-of-a-kind event geared toward students with special needs.
Smiles were everywhere during the Brody Meaux Memorial Rodeo, which was a unique event held during the LSU AgCenter Southwest District Livestock Show. This was the third year it was held, and the rodeo continues to get bigger and better for a very special group.
These kids don't get to do a lot of this. They don't get experiences like this to get out and participate in fun things. So we just wanted to do something to promote Brody's legacy and to offer it to our area special ed kids.
Brody was the son of Joanne and Jimmy Meaux, who participated in 4-H. Helping stage the event were Louisiana 4-H'ers, and volunteering to serve is a cornerstone principle of 4-H.
For our youth, we always strive to encourage them to volunteer, to be of service, and to lend a hand where needed.
Briley Bork was documenting the event and is a recent recipient of the Brody Meaux Memorial Scholarship. Receiving it meant a lot to her because of her relationship with Brody.
I did know Brody, and he was my friend as a young child, and I used to read books to him and go to his house and just make memories over there, and it was just really awesome to get that scholarship.
Each of the participants went home with a special belt buckle made possible by the effort of Presley Watson.
Last year I was really touched by the rodeo. I have a few cousins that have special needs. Over the past year, since the last one, I have collected over 300 buckles to donate to the rodeo.
Whether they were roping, riding, or petting livestock, you can be sure there were many memories made. With the LSU AgCenter, this is Craig Gautreaux reporting.
Nearly 300 special needs students attended the event. Crawfish season is in full swing, so let's get a look at some of the best prices across the state.
In DeRidder, the best price we found are at Crawfish to Go, where a pound of live crawfish will run you $3.29 and a pound of boiled is $5.99.
Head northeast to Pineville, where Louisiana Gulf Seafood has crawfish for $3.25 a pound live, $5.95 a pound boiled.
Down in Houma, check out Rouse's Market on St. Charles, where you can get a pound of live for $3.75 and a pound of boiled for $4.49.
These crawfish prices are brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, which reminds you to always eat Louisiana crawfish. And to make sure, ask before you eat. Still to come on TWILA, showing livestock isn't just about being responsible with animals. We'll meet one young lady taking advantage of these youth programs to brighten her future.
Plus, grain bins are essential to farms, but the dangers can be high. We'll show you how Farm Bureau is helping farmers and first responders up next.
You're watching This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Later this month, Louisiana Farm Bureau will host 3 grain bin safety workshops. These workshops are vital not just for showing first responders how to perform a grain bin rescue, but to remind farmers and ag workers just how easily grain bin entrapments can happen. They start February 25th in Winsboro, then Bastrop the next day, and finally Pioneer the following day. For registration instructions, check out our website at twilatv.org. 4-H and FFA are empowering more than 108,000 students across Louisiana by providing invaluable life lessons through hands-on projects.
This week, it's all about the animals. Our newest TWILA intern, Emma Dupree, heads to the show ring to introduce us to a girl and her goats.
The atmosphere around the show ring is intense as spectators watch with uncertainty and hope, eager for their favorite competitors to excel. That's where you will find Cindy Kay, ready to cheer for her daughter, Sophie, as she steps in the ring. As a fourth-generation showman, Sophie is no stranger to the barn.
Sophie was literally raised in a barn. We have videos of the goats pushing her stroller around in the pasture.
Sophie's family raised meat goats for 12 years. That was until Sophie saw how dairy goats could strengthen her herd.
Whenever I was in 5th grade, I had decided I wanted dairy goats because we had a bottle baby that was a myotonic and the mama wouldn't give milk.
Goat milk has many health benefits, and Sophie discovered that using it to make and sell soap would help fund her extracurricular activities.
This past year, I learned that Louisiana 4-H is taking a lot of kids actually to Ireland, so I decided to start selling it.
It is time for Sophie to start preparing for the biggest event of her year, the state show in the Lamar Dixon Expo Center.
To get ready, I will clip about a week before, and then if they need any touch-ups, those are done as soon as we get to the show because we're usually there a day or two before.
Exhibitors are not the only ones anticipating showtime. Sophie's 4-H agent in Vernon Parish, Chad Hagan, looks forward to this event all year long.
Favorite part of the job is probably the livestock shows. I enjoy that a whole lot.
Sophie's excited to finally see her hard work pay off. As the judge pulls each kid from the lineup, tension rises as Sophie and 2 others remain. It all comes down to this moment, to see who will win the coveted Champion Showmanship Buckle.
Whenever I won, I was ready to scream. I was so excited because it's such a big accomplishment. I don't know if a myotonic showman's ever won at the state level championship before. So it was just a really big honor.
This is her first championship for 4-H showmanships.
In a world of blue ribbons and champion buckles, one might think that this is where success is found. However, the true value of 4-H is defined by the student's personal growth.
It just opens you up. You're able to speak to people. You're able to get out in front of people. You learn how to tend to your animals. You manage your money. You manage your time.
Sophie Kay, up until about 2 years ago, she was a quiet little girl and you couldn't hardly get her to do anything. And then it's like 1 year she broke out of her shell and she had been doing awesome. In the show ring and the premier exhibitor.
I was active in 4-H, but not as much as I am now. Now I'm on the Food and Fitness Board and the Livestock Ambassador team. It just makes me a more outgoing person. I've learned tons of responsibility and I just like meeting new people and learning more about agriculture.
Reporting from Gonzales for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Emma Dupree.
So Sophie's a sophomore, which unfortunately for her competitors means she has another year to compete.
And Sophie was there at the awards presentation Wednesday night, posing alongside the other banner and buckle winners. Louisiana Farm Bureau President Richard Fontenot, who is in both Louisiana 4-H and Louisiana FFA, says livestock shows are close to his heart. He has some advice for not just the competitors, but all young people involved in groups like 4-H and FFA.
We don't grow animals in this program. We grow young people. We grow young leaders of tomorrow. So enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the journey. And I got one ask for all you young exhibitors in here with your parents. When you go home today and you unload and put everything back in the barn and the pens and wash everything, look to your parents and say thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to be better in life. Thank you for introducing me to agriculture, and thank you for what I'll be able to produce for this agriculture in Louisiana in the future.
Again, congratulations to all this year's winners and competitors.
Still to come on TWILA, we'll join Ag and Forestry Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain on a story that's certified Louisiana.
I source local fruits because they taste better, and you should too.
at the Red Stick Farmers Markets at Pennington Biomedical Center, and you can see we have all these vendors here with all these wonderful products, and I've been eating gelato.
My name is Mario. I'm the owner of City Gelato. City Gelato is a local company that makes gelato, which is very close to ice cream, type of ice cream product.
So Mario has been part of Red Stick Farmers Market for over 9 years, and he attends all of our farmers markets during the week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Gelato is Italian. Of course, I didn't come to Louisiana to do gelato. I saw a business opportunity. This is great product. Somebody gotta make it. Also in Louisiana, we have great milk. We have great fruit, like our strawberries are better than California strawberries. We have like blueberries, we have peaches. I started feeling a little bit in between jobs with the intention of going back to chemistry. And I never went back to chemistry.
His gelato is very good, and it's really fun because he uses a lot of local fruit in his flavor. So you'll find a lot of seasonal things like Ponchatoula strawberries in his strawberry gelato, Mr. Buddy's peaches in his peach gelato. So there's a really strong connection to Louisiana agriculture.
City Gelato is a certified Louisiana company. Being a part of the certified Louisiana program has been good for my business because it brings attention to local products and products made in the state using ingredients from the state and helping the local economy.
It is so very important to be a member of the Certified Louisiana family. When people go shopping, we tell them to look for the Certified Louisiana logo.
Many of our products here grown in the state as fruits that I'm using are just simply better.
Shop your local section of your grocery store first, your farmers markets, your roadside stands. When you buy that certified product, it is grown here, processed here, produced here, and it's all Louisiana.
Well, I think for everybody who is using that much of Louisiana products, from milk, sugar to fresh fruit, it's imperative to be Louisiana certified.
If you're a Louisiana producer and you want to grow your business, you need to be certified Louisiana. Certified Louisiana's Crawfish Tales with Commissioner Mike Strain was brought to you by the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry Certified Louisiana Program. For information about the Certified Louisiana, Certified Cajun, Certified Creole, Certified Craft Beverage, and the Certified Farm to Table Logo Program, visit certifiedlouisiana.org or ldaf.la.gov. Support Louisiana families. Look for Certified Louisiana logos at your favorite grocery, restaurant, or farmer's market. Buy Louisiana. It's the way to grow.
That does it for this edition of TWILA. Be sure to join us next week when I'll take you feasting on agriculture during Louisiana's most delicious season, crawfish season.
Oh yeah, it's everybody's favorite. Until then, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. You can also find all of these stories and more on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you know when we put something new out there.
For all of us here at TWILA, thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.